Last week we did goals. Last week on the 24th at night we did goals. But I didn't quite explain exactly what I do to complete those goals. So the 24th we do kind of like a rough draft goal planning. Then on the 31st we let those goals sit from the 24th to the 31st, and then on the 31st we sit down and finalize those goals, kind of go through them, make them more realistic or more unrealistic, just depending on how we feel. So I want to talk about goals because in me trying to plan my goals, it helps me a lot to try to understand exactly what goal planning is. Even though I've done this year after year after year with my family, I want to get better at it. Now, throughout the years, I remember this in 1993 or 1994, I created a website for somebody and they gave me, in return, they gave me a Franklin planner. I was a little disappointed because I would have rather had the money, but this was a $300 Franklin planner. And in that planner, the whole system, I love that system. It's a great system. And to this day, I still follow most of that system. But there was a whole section on goal planning and setting goals and long-term goals and short-term goals and intermediate goals, and then getting those goals and then writing out every task that you have to do with a deadline to complete that goal. And nowadays, I think nowadays we have what's called the SMART, the acronym for SMART, SMART goals, which are specific, S for specific, M for measurable, A for achievable, R for realistic, T for time-based, right? SMART, S-M-A-R-T, SMART goals. And that is a great system for actually sitting down and setting goals. If you're like one of those people that just loves to sit down and set goals, then that's a great system. You want to be very, very specific. Like you can't say, I want to get better grades. You can't say, I want to make more money. You can't say that. That's not specific at all. It would be more like, I want to get a 4.0 average in school, or I want to make $103,000 this year. Those are very, very specific, right? Measurable. You have to be able to measure it, right? So getting a 4.0 average is measurable. You're measuring your grades. Making $103,000 is very measurable. You can measure the steps to get there. You can, let's say you made $80,000 instead of 100 that year. You can measure that. You say, okay, I was off by 20% or something like that, right? Achievable. They have to be achievable. So let's go back to my goal of winning the lottery. That is not a realistic, achievable goal. But it is a goal. So regardless, you have this SMART system, but even regardless you have this SMART system, you can still make goals. I believe in just writing them out. They don't all have to be SMART. So winning the lottery is not an achievable, but it might be achievable 1 in 300 million chances of winning. So somebody won the lottery. It was achievable for that person, but it's not very realistic that you're actually going to be able to achieve it in the time frame that you want to achieve it in, right? That's a game of chance. So achievable. This is a really good example. In the past, breaking the 4-minute mile was believed to be unachievable. But one man, he set his goal to break the 4-minute mile and he broke it. So he made it achievable. That same year that he broke that 4-minute mile, this is like no one had ever done it before. People believed. Hold on, my phone is ringing. Hello?
Hello, may I speak to Erik Calderon, please?
Yeah, this is him, but I'm really busy right now. Can you tell me what it's about and I'll call you back?
I'm calling from the United States Postal Service.
Uh-huh.
I sent you an email on the 22nd, coming from...
346 minutes later.
I'll call you back when I'm done here. Thanks.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Bye-bye. Dang, now I forgot where I was at. Anyways,
Many hours later.
time specific, achievable, winning the lottery. Ah, the 4-minute mile. There we go. So let's get back to the 4-minute mile. No one had ever achieved that. People thought it was impossible to achieve it, so it was not an achievable goal. This guy proved everybody wrong. So remember, when you're setting your goals, is it achievable? Is it not achievable? Hey, you know, this guy made the 4-minute mile, breaking the 4-minute mile rule achievable. Right after he did that, that same year, no one had ever done it before, but that same year, 25 more people broke the 4-minute mile, right? So that goes back to, you know, what is achievable and what isn't achievable is a subjective thing, right? Realistic. Okay, so this is a good one. Realistically, you cannot jump out of a plane and fly, right? But realistically, you can put on a wingsuit. I think they're called squirrel suits or wingsuits. Put on a parachute, jump out of a plane, and fly for a little bit, and then parachute. So just keep that in mind. What we think is realistic might not be realistic. I know my parents thought it was very unrealistic of me to become a filmmaker. Realistically, I am a filmmaker. So keep that in mind when you're looking at this point, right? Time-based. So your goals have to be time-based. You have to set yourself a deadline. I want to make $103,000 a year. By the end of the year, I will have made $103,000. That's time-based. You can't say, I want to become a billionaire and not have a time-specific goal, not even have a plan. So those are SMART goals. But I think that sometimes that gets a little too complicated. The first step, like what we did on the 24th, was you just sit down and write down whatever it is. It doesn't matter. Don't even worry about it. Brainstorm it. Then, I'm letting it sit for a week. Then on the 31st, I'm going to come back and finalize those goals. And I might go into more detail. I might put in steps. I might put in tasks to complete those goals and then put deadlines on those tasks. And this is very much the Franklin Covey method, the Franklin Planner, Franklin Covey method of doing things. Then you've got 3 basic types of goals. You have process goals, you have performance goals, and you have outcome goals, right? So a process goal would be more like, hey, I'm going to study 2 hours every day after dinner. That's like a process. I'm going to study more. I am going to run 5 days a week. That's like a process goal. I'm in the process. A performance goal, I'm going to run by the end of the month an 8-minute mile. That's a performance goal against my own performance, right? So right now I'm at a 9.5-minute mile, but by the end of the month I want to be at an 8-minute mile. That's a performance goal. Then you have an outcome goal. That's more like landing a job. The outcome, I go to college, I graduate from college, and I'm going to graduate with a job. So that's an outcome job. Now the outcome goals, we have less control over. You don't have control over you getting a job. You don't, an outcome goal would be like winning the lottery. I buy the ticket, so my goal to win the lottery, I have to buy the ticket. So I go out and I buy the ticket, but the outcome is out of my control. So then you could have a goal like, I'm going to buy a lottery ticket every week for 52 weeks for a year to try to win the lottery, right? But the outcome you're totally not in control of. I don't recommend you do that. I don't recommend you waste your money on the lottery. I mean, I would say don't waste your money on Starbucks, but hey, one of these days I'm going to make a video about buying the lottery tickets. Okay, so we have several types of goals. We have stepping stone goals. We have short-term goals. We have long-term goals. And we have lifetime goals. Okay. Now all this information, I just Googled it on Google, on setting goals. So you can Google goal setting, and you'll get all this information as well. Hopefully this video will just help you get a little taste of it to help you plan your goals for the new year. There's also 7 categories of goals. We have relationship goals. We have career goals. We have financial goals. We have personal development goals. We have spiritual goals. We have educational goals. We have physical and health goals. So those are 7 categories of goals that you can break things down into categories and place your goals into those categories to help you organize them, right? Now, I love this stuff, but I also I'm the kind of person that I don't have the patience to really sit down and categorize everything and plan everything out and do this. I'm more of a visual person. So what I try to do is I'll write down, I would like to buy a Mercedes Sprinter 4x4 and convert it into a van. So look there, I've got my picture right there of my van, my dream van. And I visualize myself driving that van. Now, I am doing the legwork, so I did apply for a loan. I did calculate the payments. I did calculate how much more money I need to make. So there are steps involved into that, and I'm working on those steps to be able to achieve that, right? That's part of the SMART package, SMART goal setting package. Goals are something we do every day. We whether we realize it or not, goals are things that we set every day for ourselves. Like, for example, I'm going to cook dinner tonight. That's kind of like a goal. I'm going to the movies tomorrow night. I set the goal to go to the movies tomorrow night, and I'm going. Those are like small, it's like a to-do list, So if you think about it like that, then it becomes a little bit more easier to achieve instead of something way out there where, the goals are way over here and I'm way down here. You got to bring it all together and sit down, and most important thing is to have fun doing this. Have fun planning out your life. Have fun setting goals. I would suggest, please don't make this a stressful, hard work, kind of unenjoyable task to do, because we're pretty much, I think it's much easier to do things when you're having fun. That's always been my motto. When I do Aikido, when I teach Aikido, to me, Aikido, a martial art of defending your life or hurting somebody or protecting yourself from being hurt, is something so serious. But if you actually have fun doing it, you learn more, you learn it faster, and it sinks in to your core being a lot easier. So same thing with goals. Have fun doing this. Make this enjoyable. So I sit down with my family once a year and we have fun doing it. It makes it easier. My children really enjoyed the goal setting on the 24th, and I'm looking forward to the goal setting on the 31st. Hey, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please remember to hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, comment down below, leave me a comment, let me know what your goals are, and I'll see you on the next video.